Have you ever stopped and thought, okay, what really happens to my data when I hit accept on those privacy policies? Or, how secure are my medical records? Or even the systems delivering clean water with all these cyber threats flying around? Today, we're doing a deep dive into exactly that. We're looking at cybersecurity and user data privacy right here in Minnesota. We've got a whole stack of sources, new laws, government plans, real cyber attack stories, and the innovation happening in the Midwest tech scene.
Yeah, our goal here is to really break down these sources for you. You want to highlight the key stuff, connect the dots, so you understand not just what Minnesota is doing, but why it's so important for protecting your digital life.
Right. And before we jump in, just a quick big thank you to our sponsors, www.cisomarketplace.com and www.cisomarketplace.services. They're fantastic resources, and they help us bring these deep dives to you. Okay, so let's start with Minnesota really stepping up on data privacy. Our sources point straight to the new Minnesota Consumer Data Privacy Act, the MCDPA.
Absolutely. And the big news is its main privacy parts just kicked in July 31st, 2025. So this isn't theory, it's the reality now.
Affecting businesses right now.
Yes. Any legal entity doing business in Minnesota or targeting residents, if they handle data for, say, 100,000 consumers or more, or if they make over 25% of their revenue selling data and handle data for 25,000 consumers.
That's quite specific.
It is. And interestingly, unlike a lot of other states, higher education institutions, they're not exempt, which is, well, different.
That is different. So help us understand what counts as personal data versus sensitive data under this law.
Good question. Personal data is pretty broad. Your name, address, email, logins, even browsing history, stuff linked to you. Sensitive data goes deeper. Things like race, religion, health details, sexuality, citizenship, genetics, biometrics, precise location, and crucially, any data about kids under 13, automatically sensitive. Extra protections under MCDPA and the federal COPAHE law. Even teens 13 to 16 get more protection. Businesses need their opt-in consent to sell their data or use it for targeted ads.
This really sounds like it puts more power in the hands of individuals. So what rights do we actually get?
You get quite a bit more control. The right to know if your data is being processed, what kind, why, the right to fix mistakes, or delete your data entirely.
Deletion too.
Okay. And maybe most importantly, the right to opt out.
Opt out.
Targeted advertising, data sales, and that includes exchanging data for anything valuable, not just cash and profiling for those big automated decisions.
Like credit scores or job applications.
Exactly. Things with significant legal or life effects. And this includes a right to use a universal opt-out system.
Universal opt-out. So like one setting to tell everyone, no thanks.
Pretty much. The idea is a browser setting or tool that automatically sends your opt-out preferences everywhere you go online. Makes it way easier than digging through settings on every single site.
That would be helpful.
And you can also ask for a list of third parties your data has been sold or shared with. More transparency.
Okay, beyond knowing who has the data, you mentioned something about profiling, a unique right. That sounds really interesting, especially with AI booming.
It is unique and very forward-looking. It's the right to question profiling. So if an automated system makes a decision about you that has a real impact job, housing, healthcare, you name it, you can challenge it, demand an explanation, ask what might have changed the outcome. You can even review the data used in that specific decision.
Wow. So opening up the AI black box a bit.
Exactly. Minnesota is basically saying algorithmic accountability matters. You have a right to understand and challenge these automated judgments.
That's powerful stuff. So flipping it around, what do businesses need to do to comply with all this?
Several key things. Clear, easy-to-find online privacy notices are a must. They need to detail the data categories, why they collect it, your rights, how long they keep it. They also need reasonable security measures, administrative, technical, physical, appropriate for the data they handle.
Makes sense.
And getting explicit opt-in consent before touching sensitive data, plus easy ways to revoke that consent. Oh, and Minnesota is the first state to mandate a detailed data inventory. Businesses have to map out what data they have and why.
A data map, essentially.
Right. They also need a chief privacy officer. And they can't discriminate against you for using your rights or process data in ways that unlawfully discriminate based on race, religion, etc.
So Minnesota's clearly serious. What if a company messes up? What are the consequences?
Enforcement falls exclusively to the Minnesota Attorney General. Individuals can't sue directly under this law. There's a process. First, a warning letter. Companies get 30 days to fix or cure the alleged violation.
A grace period.
For now, yes. but that cure period ends January 31st, 2026. So the pressure's on to get compliant quickly. If they don't fix it, penalties can go up to $7,500 per violation.
Per violation. That could add up fast.
It really could. The AG's office even got specific funding to hire more staff just for MCDPA enforcement.
Okay, a strong set of rules for consumer data. But the state's also focused on its own operations and helping local entities, right? This whole of state idea.
Absolutely. It's not just about regulating companies. Look at the Minnesota Data Security Law for non-bank financial companies. That took effect August 1st, 2024. It requires them to have solid cybersecurity programs, response plans, and report breaches affecting 500-plus consumers to the Department of Commerce. Minnesota is actually the first state to adopt all three model acts for non-bank financial services. Pretty comprehensive.
We'll pause here for a moment. Just want to thank our sponsors again, www.cisomarketplace.com and www.cisomarketplace.services. Really appreciate their support in making this deep dive happen. All right, we were talking about Minnesota looking beyond just private companies. This whole-of-state cybersecurity approach sounds like a huge effort.
It is. A major piece is the whole-of-state Cybersecurity Plan, launched back in September 2023 by Minnesota IT Services, MNIT, and the state's Cybersecurity Task Force. It's backed by serious funding, too. $23.5 million total, that's $18 million federal, plus $5.5 million state match.
And where's that money going?
It's targeted. Local governments, tribal nations, K-12 schools. The goal is to boost their defenses, improve detection, share threat intel better, and secure critical infrastructure. Think water systems, things like that.
So helping the smaller players who might not have big IT budgets.
Exactly. There's a specific city and county cybersecurity grant program for that. Because many smaller counties have tiny IT teams, maybe one person, sometimes none, yet they're safeguarding really sensitive stuff. Criminal justice data, health records, family services info.
Huge responsibilities, small resources.
Right. We saw figures suggesting some counties, like Morrison and Douglas, have like a $500,000 backlog in needed cybersecurity upgrades. These grants, up to $25,000, can help with essentials, better data backups, email filtering to catch phishing. It's crucial.
Sounds vital. Now, there was also news about a new incident reporting law and a massive surge in reported malware. What's the story there?
Yes, the new reporting law, signed May 2024, effective December 1st, 2024. It mandates all public agencies report cyber incidents to MNIT.
All of them. Cities, counties, schools, state agencies.
Everyone. And quickly. 24 hours if it hits criminal justice systems, 72 hours for anyone else.
And that led to a 1,500% surge in reports. That sounds terrifying. Is it really that much worse?
It's mostly about visibility. Commissioner Tarek Tomes mentioned that surge, yes. But it doesn't necessarily mean 1,500% more attacks. It means incidents that were happening before but weren't reported are now coming to light because they have to be reported.
Ah, okay, so it's like flipping on the lights in a dark room. You see what was already there.
Precisely. MNIT is now seeing maybe 100+ incidents they wouldn't have known about previously. The benefit is huge, though. It allows MNIT to warn other agencies quickly if a specific threat pops up. And the reports are anonymized, encouraging sharing without fear of reputational damage.
That makes sense. A statewide early warning system. Is MNIT doing other things too?
Oh, yeah. They're rolling out a cyber risk quantification tool, CRQ. Helps agencies understand cyber risk in dollars and cents, make smarter investments. They're pushing an always verify framework, basically zero trust, continuous checks on who's accessing what.
Zero trust. Heard that term a lot.
And extending their web application firewall, the WF, to better protect public websites and sensitive personal info, PII.
What about AI? Everyone's talking about AI risks.
Minnesota's on it. They're part of TAIECA, the Transparent Artificial Intelligence Governance Alliance. Proactive, responsible adoption. MNIT even published the state's first security standards specifically for public AI services, trying to guide safe use.
That's smart, especially with stories about employees using AI tools maybe they shouldn't, potentially leaking sensitive data.
Exactly. That rogue AI usage is a real concern. MNIT is trying to get ahead of it.
Truly comprehensive work in the public sector. Okay, we'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsors, www.cisomarketplace.com and www.cisomarketplace.services. Stay with us. All right, let's narrow our focus a bit now. Different sectors face different cyber challenges. Healthcare seems like an obvious high-risk area.
Absolutely. Healthcare risks are, frankly, higher than ever. Digital transformation, connected devices, hospitals, pharma, it's a huge attack surface. That's why initiatives like the Center for Medical Device and Healthcare Cybersecurity, the CMDC at the University of Minnesota, are so important.
What do they do?
It's a collaboration hub. University, industry, government, working together to make medical devices safer, more secure. They help enforce FDA cyber guidance, too.
So it's not just patient records, it's the devices themselves, like infusion pumps or monitors.
Exactly. And groups like AMI, Advancing Safety and Health Technology, stress the need for specific cybersecurity frameworks just for healthcare technology management, or HTM. It's about governance, risk management, training, aligning with standards like the NIST CSF. It's a whole ecosystem.
NIST, CSF. That's the National Institute of Standards and Technology Cybersecurity Framework, right? A kind of best practice guide.
That's the one. A roadmap for managing cyber risk. And unfortunately, we see why it's needed with real breaches here in Minnesota, like Fraser Child and Family Center back in June 2024, potentially affected up to 67,000 patients.
67,000. What kind of data?
Names, addresses, birth dates, social security numbers, medical info, really sensitive stuff.
Oof. That really brings it home. It's not abstract data, it's people's lives. Any others recently?
Yeah, Mower County confirmed a ransomware attack just this past June 2025. It hit their Health and Human Services data, IPA-protected information. They're notifying people now. These incidents just hammer home the need for solid IPA compliance.
What things?
Ongoing security training for everyone because attackers move laterally. Good backups and disaster recovery, strong passwords, strict access control, making sure people can spot phishing emails. The basics, but they have to be done right, consistently.
Sobering stuff. Okay, healthcare is critical. But manufacturing is another big one, right? Especially with supply chains and national security links.
Definitely. Small and medium manufacturers are hit hard, and often ransomware is everywhere. One study showed maybe 1 in 10 breached businesses doesn't even survive. And average ransomware payments skyrocketed. We're talking maybe $250,000 on average recently.
Wow. And the national security angle.
If you're a smaller company supplying a big Defense Department contractor, think Medtronic here in Minnesota, you become a target. Nation states might try to breach you to get into the bigger company.
So the government's cracking down on defense contractor security.
Big time. The DFARS rules, Defense Federal Acquisition Regulation Supplement, now require manufacturers to post a security score. No more just saying you're secure. Get that score wrong knowingly. You could face False Claims Act charges, serious penalties, even jail time, potentially.
So real teeth in that.
And then there's CMMC coming, Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification. By 2026, if you work with the DoD, you'll likely need a third-party audit proving your security level. Big changes.
What about those industrial systems?
Yeah.
The ones running the actual factory floor or, say, water treatment plants. People used to talk about the air gap.
Yeah, the air gap myth. The idea of keeping industrial control systems, ICS, totally separate from the internet. It's often not realistic anymore. Wireless diagnostics, USB drives, even insider threats can bridge that supposed gap. ICS prioritizes keeping things running, availability sometimes over confidentiality.
So you need more than just an air gap.
Absolutely. Multi-layered defense, continuous monitoring, network segmentation, employee training is huge. We've seen devastating attacks globally, like Stuxnet or the Ukraine power grid hacks. It shows what's at stake.
So what can manufacturers do?
Back up everything critical, get cyber insurance, and, interestingly, use ethical hacking for training.
Ethical hacking. Explain that quickly.
Sure. It's basically hiring security pros to simulate real attacks in a safe way. They show employees how they might get phished or tricked. It makes the threats real, helps people recognize and report suspicious stuff, builds that human firewall.
Makes sense. Okay, the challenges are huge, from privacy to infrastructure. But Minnesota seems to be building solutions, too, fostering an ecosystem.
That's a really positive part of the story. MN Cyber, based at Metropolitan State University, is a key player here. Their mission is broad. Grow the state's cyber workforce, boost education, share information. They also actively try to attract new tech-reliant businesses, finance, healthcare, transport to Minnesota by highlighting the strong security environment.
And there are plenty of places to get trained up in cybersecurity here.
Lots of options. Associate's degrees from places like Minnesota State Community and Technical College, St. Paul College, focusing on hands-on skills, industry certs, bachelor's and master's at Metro State, even a combined program digging into offense and defense tactics, plus online master's options from Walden Capella.
So building that talent pipeline.
Exactly. Preparing people for jobs like security engineer, data protection protection officer, getting them ready for certifications like CISSP, CISM. Those are advanced credentials showing real expertise.
And this talent is feeding local innovation. We hear about the Silicon Heartland. Is Minnesota part of that?
It definitely is contributing.
Yeah.
Our sources highlighted a bunch of Minnesota-based cybersecurity and IT firms: Sunset Technologies, Token of Trust, Astra Cybersecurity, Success Computer Consulting, and others. What's interesting is many specialize in serving small and medium businesses, SMBs, offering sophisticated security that's actually affordable and accessible for them.
Filling a niche may be overlooked by the big coastal firms.
Precisely. Managed IT, compliance help, cloud security, network protection, proactive stuff. It's a vibrant local scene.
It really is inspiring, seeing the state tackle the problems and build the capacity to solve them. Just one final thank you to our sponsors, www.cisomarketplace.com and www.cisomarketplace.services, for supporting this deep dive.
Well, that was quite a journey. We covered the new MCDPA, Protecting Your Rights, the state's big whole-of-state cyber plan, the specific struggles in healthcare and manufacturing, and the innovation happening right here. It's clearly a fast-moving, complex area.
It really is. What strikes me is how comprehensive Minnesota's approach is. Policy, practice, education, industry. They seem to get that this isn't just tech stuff. It's fundamental to, well, our society and economy now.
Absolutely. Which leads to a final thought for you, our listener. With all this happening, new laws, better defenses, but also smarter attackers, where do you think the next big challenge for data privacy will come from? Is it the rise of super-personalized AI? Or maybe the way our homes and even our bodies are becoming more digitally connected? And maybe tied to that, in this constant race between threats and defenses, how do we make sure that we, the individual users, are empowered and protected, and not just seen as the weakest link in the chain?
Definitely something to chew on as you go about your digital day. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive.